Oh, hello, and welcome to today's Decay. Celebrating births and beginnings of everything important since the dawn of time, March 3rd edition. And I thought I had a pretty cute one that I did previously, and I was just gonna reshare and call it a day, quite literally. But I have since grown as a human being since the last time I've done this, and I've added something to it that otherwise you wouldn't get. So here I am. Anyway, 1863 today, Arthur Machen was born, who is the writer of The Great God Pan. And here is Tartarus Press's The House of Souls, which collects The Great God Pan. It's like really a beautiful illustration from the original 1890s or so first printing as a repro. I really like it a lot. But he was involved with the occult. There's this whole Arthur Machen's Occult World of London book that I have in the other room here that I was going to pull out, but I didn't. I pulled out this one instead, because how many heads do I have? I mean, for real. And, but yeah, he's done a lot of things that I would love to read that I haven't necessarily gotten to yet. It's on my to-do list, which is not a bad thing to have, right? The Shining Pyramid, the Bowman. There's like a whole bunch of Arthur Machen. I think like Great God Pan becomes like his like end-all be-all, and maybe that's accurate, but there's a lot of other content out there, and he's like pre-Lovecraftian, and like, for those who have read for those who have not read the Great God Pan, rather, this is all about like almost like trepanation, I guess, where you're like screwing with the brain and like expanding your mind to like other planes of existence, and like what exists just beyond our human ability to comprehend or not. And it is really impressive, and at a time when like who was doing anything like this? Nobody. But Arthur Machen was, and I highly suggest it. The Great God Pan. Yeah. 1876 today, the Kentucky meat shower occurred. That's why we're doing this today, because I didn't know about this before, and all for it. So it's actually in this heavy book, the books of Charles Fort, 1876 in Kentucky. Meat just rained from the sky. And is there a better example of what Charles Fort was all about? I don't know. There's no clear belief across all parties in the modern age to say what occurred and why, except for the fact that like square chunks of flesh rained down from the skies in Kentucky, and maybe also happened in parts of Europe, and maybe also happened in parts of London at around the same time, give or take, that were like specific square inches, and like they don't know if it was beef or lamb or deer, or could it have even been human? Although people at the time in 1876 decided to like taste it to find out what they thought it was, which, like, well done, idiots. Like, meat is raining from the sky and you're like, I'm gonna eat it. What were they thinking? They must all be dead now, for one reason or another. But nobody's ever figured this out. There's some belief that this could be like because of vultures that ate, let's say, like cattle or something like that, who then like as a escape plan vomited it out on like local passerbyers or something like that. But it doesn't really make any sense. And this is, even though that was like a hypothesis proposed for a while, doesn't really make any sense, because it was like very clear, like square chunks that, like, how would a vulture have made square chunks? I come to you, a fair audience, to give me those answers. There's none that I'm aware of. So who knows? Mysteries, and these are exactly the type of mysteries that are all in this Charles Fort book here. That he collected them in like the Edwardian era or so. And then this was then collected by Tiffany Thayer. But it was in, I think, the Book of the Damned. The Book of the Damned. Or maybe New Lands, one or the other. It's all you know, strange things that happen throughout this strange world of ours to strange people and things and places. 1911, Jean Harlow was born. Big fan of Jean Harlow. And that's it. March 3rd, the whole day. From me. Take you. Till tomorrow.